Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to tackle yet another topic on how to embrace a job you don't like while progressing into one you're destined for. First, accept where you are. Accepting doesn't mean settling for a job you don't want or you don't like. It just means that you look at the things around you and you say, okay, this is what I am able to do right now. But what can this job be able to teach me that I can be able to use for that dream job that I actually want? So maybe this job is teaching you patience, it's teaching you good customer service, it's teaching you how to handle difficult colleagues or bosses, navigate, counting or finance, not only in your own life, but even in the career space. Maybe it's also enabling you to network and talk to people in the industry you want to be. Look at what you have, not from bitterness, but from acceptance, appreciating or gaining insights, shift the mindset from survival to strategy. For example, the job you're in allows you to live by yourself and take care of bills and sometimes your family. If you feel cash constrained and want to gain courses and skills, there's so many free courses and skills, but also if you have a little bit of disposable income, invest in certifications that are found in most of the institutes here in Kenya, and not just in Kenya, but out there in the world, and international certifications. You can use your salary to be able to, for example, if you want to be more confident on camera, if you want to be more confident in how you present yourself, can buy inexpensive stuff like a microphone, could be a Bluetooth microphone or this traditional setup or the setup that I have, and just start to think, okay, so what kind of topics do I want to talk about? If it's coaching, how can I put money on the side to fund that place? If it's public speaking, same thing. Always practice gratitude so you can see the little progresses you're making and make your stay at the job bearable as you work towards the job you want. Create moments of purpose. You may not love the job, but you can find purpose in it. For example, if you're in an internship, but you actually want to work for the United Nations, or you want to work for non-governmental organizations, or, you are at a circle, but you want to work for the big banks, you can find purpose in what you're doing. For example, if you're offering credit, you can learn how those things are done in big organizations. We have no excuse. We have LinkedIn. You can talk to people in those departments to help you navigate that area of your life, because many times, even when you go for interviews, the likelihood of you getting a job because of somebody you know or a connection or a network is higher than if you're making a cold call or a cold interview without knowing the person. Number two, you learn to journal wins. For example, if you've purpose to which you're speaking to somebody in the industry or you're messaging people in the industry, say per week I'll message 3 people and I'll slot in one person to be able to talk about the direction in which they are wanting to go, in which you are wanting to go, and how to navigate, not just how you want to gain, but also what other things can you be able to provide to this person, so that the relationship can be from a place of reciprocity, such that I am gaining and giving in the same degree. You can use this time to build what we call future bridges. First is to upskill, of course, the courses, the visiting of different departments, talking to people. Talking to people is also under networking, whereby you're able to talk to industry experts in the places where you want to go and find loopholes of how you can be able to transition from one job to the other. And also try and experiment. If you're not there yet, for example, you want to be a UX designer. UX designer is the person who creates not only the websites that companies use, but also the layout and maintenance. You can start by creating your own websites using simple coding courses that you can get online. And not just that, if you want to be a public speaker, you can even start just in the same way I'm talking to you, you can start if it's coaching. If you know there is an area in which you are better at and people keep on asking for your suggestions, then that's an indication you have expertise in the area and can be able to help people. And you can start pro bono. And then once people start to get to know who you are, then you start to move up the space in which you're in. And so you thereby create opportunities for yourself while still being in the job that you are, even if it is not ideal. The last one is to protect your mental energy. Some organizations and places have a bit of a toxic environment. And so you must be extra vigilant about detaching your emotions from such kind of environments, learning to do the work, doing it to the best of your ability, and going home. If you're able to make a friend there or an acquaintance, because rarely work, you make friends, but in some instances, there's the rarity whereby you make friends that become your friends for life in those areas. So it will need you to be extra vigilant about your environment, about your energy. And this will need you to also set boundaries at work in terms of what you're able to do and what you cannot do. And given that I've been in the corporate space for a while, I always say that information should always be on a formal basis, i.e., emails. If you have emails, in which I believe most spaces and most jobs have, let it be written such that in case the person decides, I'm not going to use maybe the reference points that I had earlier communicated, you are able to back your evidence with what they said on using formal communication, which is on an email. And also build healthy routines after work. If you find yourself drained from a particular environment, what do? Maybe you journal, read a book, talk to friends. On weekends, find spaces to relax. They don't need to be expensive. They can really be inexpensive. So it will also depend on you, maybe picnics, time with friends and all of that. And it can be as simple as inviting your friend for a cup of tea, because many times nowadays life has been so commercialized that when we think about friendships or coming together, we automatically put money in there. And this really makes us not really communicate with our friends and keep our friendships, especially in adulthood. The last one is design your transition plan. I usually say give it a 6 to 12 month period. List the skills and the qualifications that you already have, and not just the technical skills, but the soft skills that are transferable. Visualize the version of yourself who's already achieved those goals, and ask yourself, even as you visualize, why it is important for you and how you're going to impact others by your journey, because it's also important. We don't live like an island, and iron sharpens iron. Maybe your story will be somebody's breakthrough. You may not always be connected to your job, but it serves a purpose to enable you to move to higher levels. People say it does not feel like a chore, because I'm also still on that journey. It won't feel like a chore, but also it will also fill you with joy, and that joy will permeate into other areas of your life. So thank you again for watching this video. Hit a like button if you like this video, and subscribe, share, and comment. My favorite color is blue, so put in a blue heart. I'd love to hear your takes on how you've been able to navigate from jobs or environments you didn't particularly like in terms of business or career, so that we can impact each other. Thank you once again, and see you in the next video.